Greetings, everybody. As I try to stay positive and look for any glimmer of hope or benefit throughout this 2022 bear market, I wondered if wage inflation and the bear market are setting conditions for us investors to have larger returns from new investment dollars put to work. You see, a year ago, on December 28th, 2021, VOO, Vanguard's S&P 500 index, was at $438 a share. Today, December 28th, 2022, it's at $346 a share for a 21% decline. Now, obviously, that's a significant loss of money for investors, though perhaps the losses are unrealized and on paper, which is why I'm referring to new investment dollars as the source of the benefit. For example, if someone had $1,000 to invest, last year at $438 a share, they would have been able to buy 2.28 shares. But this year, those same $1,000 buy 2.89 shares. Now the difference might not seem like much, but you're actually getting 27% more compared to last year for the same amount of money. And it's also interesting that you're getting 27% more even though the stock is only down 21%. If you invested $2,000 new dollars, you'd have 5.78 shares compared to 4.56, still for 27% more. And so hypothetically, the more amount of shares you own of stocks and American business, the more you'll benefit and profit when the markets go back up, if they ever do. As for the wage inflation aspect, the most recent numbers say that on average, wages are up about 6% compared to last year. So for every $1,000 you earned last year, people on average are now getting $1,060 for the same amount of work and time. And if we plug that number into the VOO share price table, your same amount of work now enables you to buy 3.06 shares, or 34% more of stocks than a year ago. Now, what difference does a 34% more starting point make? We'll call it 30% just to make it simpler. Let's say somebody had $10,000. 30% more of that is $13,000. And then as each of those figures appreciates in value, assuming that the stock market goes back up one day, look at the difference in values. Now, perhaps the difference doesn't seem extraordinary, but wouldn't you still rather have those extra thousands in your pocket to use or save? The last part I want to mention is how some people might say, yeah, our wages went up, but everything else went up too. Food, gas, etc. That is true. And so I understand that the wage inflation part of this presentation may not apply to everyone. But all of our situations are different, and so some people may still be able to save the same amount of money in percentage terms as before this 40-year high inflation by cutting back on non-essential purchases. For example, let's say someone always wants to save 10% of their income. Well, before inflation, maybe they could save 10% and have money left over to spend on miscellaneous things. But now that food and energy costs have gone up, maybe they can still save the 10%, but they can't spend much or at all on the non-essentials. In this case, the wage inflation part does apply to them. And even if the wage inflation part doesn't apply to you, it's still true that many stocks are in bear market territory and you can still buy more for less money. In conclusion, I know this is all hypothetical and just numbers, but it did occur to me and I wanted to share the fact that maybe this financial disaster and Fed rate hiking could lead to larger and longer lasting prosperity down the road, though I hope it doesn't take too long for us to get back to prospering. Thank you for watching.